Hello everybody, this is Chuck Wiger at the State Capitol, and today I'm with Rob Sutherland from Ashland Productions. They're in Maplewood, awesome theater company, and it's so good to have you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Now, the state of Minnesota is a strong supporter of the arts. The people, through a constitutional amendment, have dedicated a part of the sales tax to go to arts organizations. One of the premier art organizations in our area, throughout the state actually, is Ashland Productions. So this is the community theater in Maplewood at the community center. And Rob, if you could tell us just a little bit about the theater.
Yeah, we started about 20 years ago. We'll be celebrating our 20th season next year.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, right?
And you're a founder.
I'm one of the founders. We like to say we're as old as Google, we're just not as wealthy as Google.
Okay.
But we really focus on youth mentoring. So all of our programming is intentionally designed to focus on youth mentoring.
Okay.
And we say that we change lives through the vehicle of theater. And I think those skills are so transferable today, and it's helping kids with delayed gratification and confidence and public speaking and teamwork, all those things that are going to be so important for kids to have as they get older and go through middle school and high school, and then on into adulthood and becoming great citizens.
Wonderful. And this is, again, 20 years.
20 years.
Just tell us about what inspired you and others during the founding time as a trailblazer.
It's interesting because we originally wanted to be the Chanhassen on the east side. Okay. We wanted to be a professional dinner theater where we kind of had invited casts to begin with, and we worked with adults and had small little stipends that we paid the adults. And then we realized that really what we were really good at is working with youth and students. And so we kind of switched. We ended up becoming a nonprofit then, and really dedicating and focusing in on our mission of mentoring youth. And so we do programs that have adults as well.
Yes.
There's times where our high school students are mentoring our adults who have not done shows before, where their parent or something comes to do a show with them. But we also have great adults who mentor our youth. And so this coming fall, we're going to be doing Annie, and it will be first grade through adult. And it will be a great opportunity for, like I said, families to do shows together, or these young students to get to work with local professionals or people who've been doing theater for a long time. So it's a great space for acceptance and kids to discover who they are.
And you reach out to public, private schools throughout the East Metro and potentially beyond sometimes.
Yeah. So we have a program called ACT, Ashland Collaborative Theater Program, which is a very unique program. I haven't heard of one like this, this model.
Yes.
Last year we had 15 casts. We partnered with local schools. They rehearse at their school, and then they get to come to the theater and share the sets and the costumes, the microphones, the lights, and get to have a professional experience. And we had over 850 kids do a show called Space Pirates last year. And so we've been growing. We have all over the East Metro, and we work with kids mostly in kindergarten through 5th or 6th grade, but we do have some schools that go up to 8th grade.
Okay. The decision to be at the Maplewood Community Center, tell us about that partnership.
That was kind of a fluke, actually.
Okay.
Somebody came to our first show. We did our first show at what was called Roberto's Restaurant. That's Jimmy's now up in Maplewood.
Yes.
We did it in their banquet room. We served meal, and somebody came and said, "What brought you here? Are you connected here?" Because the Maplewood Community Center is beautiful. It's got community rooms and place that you can do catering and dinner. But it also has this gorgeous theater that people don't know about.
Yes.
I always joke that it's one of the best kept secrets in Maplewood, and so we're trying to fix that. So we went over there and took a look, and it was a great fit. We started by just renting. When we needed space, we rented the theater, and now we actually lease the theater all year long. And we sell about 18,000 tickets, and work with probably about 1,500 youth or so in a year.
Oh, that's just amazing,
Yeah.
the involvement. And you're called Ashland.
Ashland Productions.
I know there's a story behind that. I think Ashland-Brenner and Sutherland.
But my father-in-law, Frank Ashland-Brenner, and
from Hill-Murray.
Hill-Murray, yes, and two of his daughters.
Leader of the band. Yes.
Exactly, the green jacket.
Yes.
And myself, the four of us really started Ashland. I really thought this would be my thing, and he said, well, I want to show you where we're going to build our theater. And I said, wait a minute, we're building our theater? And so he jumped right in, and he was so magical and amazing mentor for so many years at Hill Murray. He started the theater program there and the band program there, and really was at the helm of their merger when Hill and Murray came together, Archbishop Murray came together, and then he was really helped be the catalyst to help us get Ashland started. Once he retired, this was kind of his way to play, still in theater, and he believed in youth and believed in theater and how it changed lives. And so he came up with the name, and so we also get it every once in a while. People are like, is that Ashland, Wisconsin? Nope, not Ashland, Wisconsin. And then sometimes people don't realize that the land is from Sutherland.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a funny story. He came up with it. I said, there's not a way to make my name first, and we joked, but he was a huge driving force and an energy that still is around at Ashland, and I know he'd be very proud if he were still around today.
And he definitely is, and is watching over.
Yeah.
You mentioned the ACT program, other programs that involving the young people as well as others.
Yeah, we do 4 featured shows in a season. We're actually going to take and make an elementary featured show out of the Ashland kind of ACT version next year. Our season, we still have one show this season, which is our teen show, which is Hairspray, in August. And we really wanted to expand our diversity and look more like the community of Maplewood, which has been a great success. We have a cast of about 55 kids that have just started rehearsals this week. They're so talented. Those shows are at the end of July, the beginning of August, and that is on our website.
And might we have a set here?
Yeah, this is actually the model, the set rendering for that show, and it's kind of been blown around a little bit, but it's really cool. Our designer took and made all the model so that the team can see what they're going to be dealing with and how that's going to work. And there's little pieces in here that he created along with little models of people to show what the scale is going to be. And we're so lucky. We also surround our kids with amazing professionals, and this young gentleman just graduated up at Duluth. He was accepted at Yale. He actually turned down Yale to go to Northwestern.
Would you like to share?
His name is Joe Johnson.
Okay.
He's from Woodbury. He went to Eastridge High School. He's just going to be an up-and-comer. You're going to watch. And we are so lucky to get to have him for, I know it's only going to be a short time because pretty soon we won't be able to afford him. He'll be so good. But we're so proud. And the cool thing is, our kids get to see this, and kids who maybe never thought that they would be interested in set design or painting are getting to work with somebody who's got these great skills, who's going to go on to do amazing things.
And there can be opportunities for a variety of interest and skills.
Oh, tons. We have kids working backstage with costuming, with the set. We have them doing technical elements like spotlight or sound. We have 3 or 4 young college students who kind of have come to us when they were done with their high school, and that really wasn't there really wasn't opportunity there for them anymore. They've come over and really helped solidify some of our technical elements, doing light design and sound design. They support our professional designers sometimes, but they also get to do it on their own. We do 8 summer camps in the summer. And so those kids get to work on those things. So it really, again, like I said, it's really built to be this mentor model. Our high school students are our counselors. And so our elementary and middle school students get to look at them and say, that's what I want to be that someday. That's my favorite, when a kid comes up to me and says, I want to work here. And I'm like, you will, I bet you will.
So much inspiration and the transformation of the lives of these students.
Oh, I have stories for days about the transformation of these students. They come so shy, and not knowing anyone. And by the time they leave us, it's just amazing, the people they become. They're great citizens. It's really cool.
There's a beautiful T-shirt here, Go, 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 Joe, but tell us about this.
So we just finished Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's one of those shows that Ashland has done a number of times, but we had 107 students in the production. We had 8 performances, and we sold out. It's one of the first shows that we've completely sold out every performance. We tried to add some performances, but with the technical details of getting every student to be able to be there and things like that, we couldn't. But again, it was so impressive. We double cast our children's choir, so they did every other performance. But to have 107 children in a production, people were like, "You're crazy." And for a while there, I thought, maybe I am. But to watch these kids perform this show, my favorite comment was, "I cannot believe they're only in middle school." And they knocked it out of the park.
Well, viewers, I sure hope you continue to participate by supporting the theater, tell more people about it, and the success is so clear. The next 20 years, what's your dream?
I would love more space. I would love to expand the building, actually. There's a little piece of property close, or even just build out the theater a little bit to give us the opportunity to serve more students.
Yes.
And to do more programming. I think it's a great way for everyone, and that's one of the things about the ACT program. These kids get to try it and maybe wouldn't have done it.
Yep.
And so I'm hoping we can expand our facility and our footprint somehow to be able to get more space and serve more students, to have rehearsals, to build, and then use the theater more for just performing.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
your website will show information about the upcoming productions,
Yeah.
all of your programs. You have a board of directors as well?
We do.
And,
We have 9 members on our board of directors, and we're always looking for people to be involved. Our board has grown over the years, whereas a nonprofit, you start out small, and they're kind of a working board, and they're doing all the things like ticketing and marketing and things like that. We've grown now. We got to be a part of a program called Arts Lab. Ashland, it was a grant that Ashland received and got to participate, and that really helped us grow. We said we grew about 5 years in the 2 years that we participated, but that helped us transition our board to a governance board. And so they really are watching over the organization, helping make decisions and making sure that we're staying on track and finding that vision and that strategy that we're shooting for. But they're a little more hands-off now, which is kind of fun to feel like we've grown up and we have a staff of 5.
Yep.
We have 4 full-time and then a full-time volunteer. And then we actually have a couple part-time people. And then this summer we have 4 interns that are working with us. So
great opportunity.
Right, we're growing, and it's super exciting. So we're really growing. I just see great things ahead.
Okay, and on a personal note, what inspired you? When did this passion for the arts? When did
It's
that
funny
start?
because as a kid, I worked at a pet store, and so I wanted to open a pet store. I
Okay.
thought, I always had like an entrepreneurial sense, and
Yeah.
I wanted to open a pet store. And I didn't do theater until I was a junior in high school, and then I fell in love with it. I moved in 7th grade, and so I think at that...
Where were you from?
I actually was from Superior, Wisconsin. We moved to Eau Claire.
Okay.
And that transition was tough because I didn't have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And so I think my passion for students, my gift is I'm not the best director in town, I'm not the best choreographer in town, but I see in kids or people what they don't see in themselves. And I'm able to bring that out through being honest with them and encouraging them and supporting them. And so I feel so lucky to be able to use the gifts that I have to help change lives. And these kids are amazing. They can do amazing things.
Yes.
You just got to keep reminding them they can do it.
Yes.
And then when they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, you have to be honest with them and say, hey, you can do better. And so that's really what it is. And so for me, that's what gets me out of bed every day is to see these kids. And like I said, like Joe is only going to be with us for a very short time, but he's still one of my kids. So I feel so blessed to have worked with so many children. And I'll run into someone and I'll say, okay, I can't remember what show you were in. Tell me what show you were in or what you did. But it's a pretty lucky to have the opportunity that I get to have.
Wonderful. And I understand you have a few kids yourself.
I
and
do. I have
do
3
they
of-
have the passion for the theater like
Yes,
that?
I have 3 amazing kids. My oldest just graduated, and he actually is a triple threat in the finalists for Spotlight. There's the top 24, and he's one of the top 24. He's going to be going to Iowa State for engineering, so I don't think he'll do theater, but not stay in it.
We need creative people.
Exactly, and engineering as
fields.
well.
Yes.
And he is so, it comes so easy to him. So it's fun to see his passion for that as well. My daughter is going to be a junior next year, and she's a basketball player, but she's also a theater person. So it's tricky, the balance. And then my youngest is going to be a 7th grader next year, and I feel like he'll be a director someday. He'll probably be the one that follows in Dad's footsteps. His eye is like this kind of the model. He always like, can I have that when you're done with it? He always likes that, watching a show from a different lens that I really feel like fits that director model. So.
Well, Rob Sutherland, Ashland Productions, thank you so much for your work.
Thank
and
you.
Including words for our audience.
We have a great season next year. I wanted to mention that. We, in the fall, are doing a brand new stage reading. For us, it's a brand new program. We haven't done a stage reading before, but we're doing We Will Rock You, so all the music of Queen. Then in November, December, we're doing Annie. We're excited to be one of the first companies to get to do Newsies. Then we're doing James and the Giant Peach, and next summer with our high school kids again, we're going to be doing Cats. So it's a great season next year, a season for the whole family.
Outstanding production. Job well done. Continued success to you. Thanks, Rob Sutherland.
Thank you for all that you do, and thank you for your support and having me today.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, viewers.